Okay, so the last thing that you need to do is you need to be able to solve some problems using simultaneous equations. So you'll be given a worded problem and be asked to use this process of simultaneous equations to solve them. So the first thing, read the problem carefully, identify the variables that you've got, use the variables to write some simultaneous equations, use your techniques, algebraic techniques of elimination or substitution, or if you wanted to go graphically. And then when you get solutions, make sure you actually answer the problem and you do so in words. So let's have a go at some of these. We'll see what sort of strategies we can use to solve them. So what have we got? We've got an art show where there are 520 guests. If there are 46 more women than men, how many women attended the show? So it looks like there's men and women. So I'm going to make my two variables M and W. Now we know all the men plus the women is equal to 520. That's that first little part there. We also know that there are 46 more women than men. So that means that women has to equal men plus 46. So there's always two equations that you should be able to write. And so you get the information out you need to write them both down. Now what we need to do is need to solve these simultaneously. So you can use elimination, you can use substitution. I'm going to use substitution in this case because I've got the W by itself, so I should be able to substitute this into there. So I'm going to call that number 1 and I'm going to call that number 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to sub number 2 into number 1. So what we get is we get M plus, now if W equals M plus 46, I can replace that M plus 46 in there. So it becomes M plus 46 equals 520. That means that 2M plus 46 equals 520. I'll just continue up here. You just keep working down your page. So what we do is we now solve this. So I'm going to subtract 46 from both sides. So 520 minus 46 equals 474. So 2M equals 474. Now we divide both sides by 2. Divided by 2 equals 237 men. Now if we've got 237 men, that means that the women, if I take that away from 520, so 520 minus that answer, we get 283. Now the question says how many women attended the show. There were 283 women. So W equals 283 is a good algebraic answer, but you've got to actually answer the question in words. How do I know this is true? Well, if I know that these two added together give me 520, I just need to check that there are actually 46 more women than men. So 237 plus 46 is 283, so there are definitely 46 more women than men. So it satisfies both of the conditions. Let's have a go at this one. This is your classic sort of money one. We'll have a bit of a read of it. So Anita and Ben spent $931 on shrubs and trees, so they're the two variables that I've got. Altogether they bought 70 plants. The shrubs cost $11, the trees cost $18. How many of each plant did they buy? That's sort of going in and out of focus. Terrible, isn't it? Okay, so, sorry, I was just trying to get it looking a bit better. Because I've done these before, I know how to set them up. Let's worry about the 70 plants first. So let's say shrubs is going to be an S, and trees, we're going to make a T. So shrubs plus trees equals 70. We know that when we add the number of plants that we've got, shrubs and trees, that it's 70 altogether. So there's your 70 plants. So this is terrible. I'll try it without a light on. So shrubs plus trees equals 70. Now the cost part, that's a little bit trickier. We know that shrubs cost $11 each. So every shrub that you have costs $11. We write 11 times S. So 11 times S would be the total cost for the shrubs. We also know the trees cost $18. So 18 times T would be the total cost for the trees. Now we know that when we add all the cost up, it's equal to $931. That was that little part there. So what we've got now is we've got two equations we need to solve simultaneously. You could eliminate these, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this one as S equals 70 minus T, and I'm going to substitute that into here because it's a little bit easier to do. When I did this one before, I actually did T equals 70 minus S. So you can do it either way and then substitute in. I think substitution is sometimes easier. So if I put 70 minus T, so that's an S, I'm going to substitute that into here. So let's call that number 1. Let's call this number 2. We're going to sub number 1 into number 2. So what do I get? I get 11. Now S is 70 minus T plus 18T equals 931. Now this is just an equation you've got to solve. So let's do some expanding. So 11 times 70. Oop, that's 71. 11 times 70 equals 770. So 770 minus 11t plus 18t equals 931. Minus 11t plus 18t is 7t. If I take that 770 out here, I get 931 minus 770 equals, I get 161. If I divide both sides now by 7, so 161 divided by 7, we get 23. So that means we bought 23 trees. It says how many of each plant did they buy, so we need to work out the shrubs as well. So shrubs equals, if we know that t equals 23, if you put that back up into this equation here, 70 minus 23 gives you 47. So let's answer it now with a worded statement. So we bought, or Anita and Ben bought, 47 shrubs and 23 trees. Now let's just check that we've got it right, because it's always good just to substitute it in and see if we've got it spot on. So 47 and 23 is 70, so it satisfies that one there. Let's just see if these two amounts, the trees and shrubs we bought, satisfies this cost one. So it's 11 times 47, because we had 47 shrubs, plus, sorry, I'm just trying to do it on a calculator, 18 times 23. If you do that on your calculator and press equals, you should get the cost of $931. Okay, so you know you've got it right because we've checked that both of those equations still hold true. Okay, that should give you a bit of an idea how to solve some problems using simultaneous equations. Typically the ones that are the hardest are the ones that involve the cost. If you can take out your 2 bits of information, make 2 equations, solve them simultaneously, you'll be on the money. Good luck. You should be able to have a crack at the exercise now.